Greetings to the many names I've tagged on this video. People who I have never met before, people who have never met me before. I'd like to think that you've never heard of me like I've never heard of you. So let's go on that one. But you may have, because unfortunately some people just have to use other people to get where they are. Now, because of he's so ashamed of himself, because of the shameful nature of this person's actions, I wouldn't be surprised if he is massively compartmentalised and separated off his new life, a quote unquote life, from his old life again. So I'm talking about L.o.L, what the duck, or whatever he's calling himself now. The channel. Now, I've got your names from looking at his chat. So, and I hope you don't mind that I've done that. It's only going to be a quick video. And it's because this person, I know, is so ashamed of his actions, yet he cannot help himself from doing it. And continues to do it. So, basically, I'm one of at least a couple of women that this person has, creeping is a nice word for it, a systematic serial creeper who uses women to get into communities, cause trouble. It's just very disgusting. And when the woman becomes not useful anymore, well, that was the thing that I took issue with, was the way he acted, the lies he told. So I'm intending on exposing this person who's going through life completely normally, thinking that he's got away with it. And he really is. Like, he comes back to rub it in my face and in other people's faces. He thinks he's clever, and it's like, he could have got away with it, couldn't he, if he hadn't have tried to rub it back in people's faces, tried to take a little bit more. Now, I feel that he is probably in hiding of himself at the moment, knowing him like I've known him. I've seen him in this state before. The last time when he came to us, he'd already done this to another woman. And I think it had gone on for quite a long time before. I think it had been like at least a year. So much longer than what happened with me. Yet he knew he had power. My name is very, very easy to use. It's 3 letters. You know what I mean? CPE, that's me. And he will, and there's been a number of people who those 3 letters have got them quite far. And I don't need to tell you, but I wasn't even there for it. That's why he got away with it. But you see, I've left him, left a lot of them, the people who attacked me, I've left them all at it. Now I've got plenty of evidence and tend to make YouTube poop out of the whole thing. I also saw that this person who came in caused so much trouble, continued to cause so much trouble, returned to the scene of the crime to creep and cause more trouble. Now my cat's here. I don't know if you can hear her. But yeah, I left him to it, and now it's time for me to wreak my revenge. My revenge is best served cold, and it is a righteous revenge. Now I don't expect you guys to take my word for it. There will be plenty of evidence on my channel when I've gone through the hours and hours and hours of streams that this person joined in on, absolutely creaming and making his channel. You see, the channel that you go on now that is got so many views and things like that, these little streams that he does, that was completely defunct when he met me, because he'd thrown it all away. And that was because of the last woman that he attacked, the last woman that he creeped on. There were other people involved in that and other witnesses. There's Mr. Matthews, there's Paste, and I'll link both of their channels in my description. They don't want to talk about it anymore because they don't want that guy to come back to their community. that especially the victim, I would imagine they're protecting the victim involved. If that lady ever wants to come forward and compare notes with me, I think we'd have a very interesting, we'd be able to come up with something very interesting as a result. It might be quite amusing. Because also this guy spent a hell of a long time crying, calling me, trying to groom me. I knew exactly what he was about, but he was trying, and he was ringing me up, crying and telling me that he did, he admitted what he'd done to this other woman. He said he felt very guilty. He doxed this woman because she stopped being useful to him. He started on her, and when she responded, he then went full creep and just divulged all their information and was harassing this woman to the extent that the whole community turned on him, made clips about him. This is why he doesn't talk on his streams, because they made clips of his voice, which is why if you see my last video and the ones to come, which I will tag people in until they let me know that if you don't want me to tag you, please let me know and I will take you off the list. But for now, I'll tag you in it as a viewer of his, just so you know what's going on, a bit of backstory for you if you're interested. I mean, feel free to not mention anything to me and just block me if you want. And I'm sorry for the inconvenience, but there has to be a balance righted. These people, especially in the retro gaming community when it comes to women, they take the piss. They massively take the piss. And they sit there on top of these people that they try and eat and make these little channels, and nobody knows what's gone on before. And they even utilise the fact that they can not be tagged. Why would they stop people from tagging them if they had nothing to hide? He has a lot to hide. He had a lot to hide when he came to me. He has a lot to hide now. When he left me, whatever it was, when I stopped being useful to him, and he started his lie campaign to try and get where he could get. This man is an absolute waste of time. There's actually a video that Sam Vaknin, who is a guy who does narcissism education videos, absolutely fantastic. And when he turned up, this fella, L.o.L duck man, when he turned up, there was a video put out, and it is basically him to a T. I will also link that video in my... So I'm getting notifications and rubbed by a cat at the same time. But I'll put all these links in my channel. I don't think anyone's particularly interested, but if anyone is, and it's a bit of a boring afternoon and you fancy delving into someone's backstory, I haven't got much. I've just got the tip of the iceberg with this one. If Mr. Matthews or that lady ever came forward, then we'd have a bit more of a story, but I don't think anyone really wants to start that off again. For me, I have to say that I have to give some, I have to get some balance back in the universe for the intense levels of patheticness, creepiness, whiningness, cryingness, lyingness, and just general deplorable behaviour from this excuse for a waste of a human being. And as I say, he's a serial offender, and he's gone on again, scot-free, building up his channel again to try and go again at it. So I just thought, if he's going to stop everyone from tagging him because he's so scared, he stops using his voice because he's so scared. He's cried and tried to get people out of communities because he's so scared. Well, if he's going to do that, then I'm going to do the only thing I can do, which is tag in his audience that he's trying to garner now after all this by lying and pretending that he hasn't done any of those things. YouTube does not protect the victims from any of this. So the only thing we can do is use our skills as people who just record videos or make videos, but that's what YouTube is, isn't it? That's all I can do. So I apologise for wasting your time, and it's probably something that you're not interested in. But this LOL duck sub for sub person is trying to get himself back in as some sort of umbrella for all you sub for sub people to come to, because that's what he used to do, and he'll do that and he'll pick off his victims as a result. So moving forward, I'm going to be doing more YouTube poop out of his voice, because he hated having his voice clipped, because he sounds like a Muppet, and because this guy, you have never met anyone so creepy and so pathetic. And I'm not just saying that because he's pissed me off, you know. Honestly, if you want a bit of information, it's a bit crazy, but the last video I did was just a bit of a YouTube poop, but on his, just one of the times he went over to try and trade on me. And he'd already traded on that other lady, like I say. So to come, there will be loads more of that. I'm going to do a good few episodes of that. I will also be going over some of the actual streams, the to-ing and fro-ing and the drama and the lies, the absolute lies, and the way that indicates to me what's going on in his head, what's going on in his psychology, because it was an extreme level of it, you know. It wasn't just someone being a bit psycho on the internet. This is an extreme level of a textbook person. You've never come across someone so wimpy, so pathetic. And I'm not just saying that, don't take my word for it. It's all to come on this channel if you're interested in L.o.L Duckman. You will find plenty of information and plenty of just indications of what this person's personality is really like behind the little, oh, thanks for your sub and your like, guys, on his little text-based streams. Hiding, absolutely hiding. So that's my plans for the future. As I say, there's other people who were also attacking me. This guy was just utilising that, and they're all going to get documented. And so this is just part of it. If you're interested, as I say, there will be proof coming on. The last video I did before this, which again I'll link just a load of stuff in the bottom of the description, and that's got some of his stuff and his voice on it if you're interested. Like I say, apologies again for dragging you into this, but unfortunately you stepped into that area. That's all it is. You just happen to be in that area, and it's just a way to let this person know that he is not getting away with what he thinks he's going to get away with. Okay, well, thank you so much for listening. I know I don't know you from Adam. I hope you have a lovely day, and just stay safe away from people like that. Unless you want to make fun of them, and unless you want some inspiration for months and months worth of videos, because then feel free to go and hang around with them, because you get plenty. You do have to sacrifice, I don't know, a bit of comfort, because it was quite uncomfortable the way he attacked and continued to attack and tried to sit on me, tried to be a bit of a vampire, you know. You couldn't get him off, you couldn't shake him off, and that's why Mr. Matthews and all those guys didn't want to deal with it when I asked them about it, because you can't shake him off once he's attached. But maybe I'll give him a little bit of a taste of his own medicine, eh? Alright, thank you very much. Goodbye.